Hello, fellow self-improvers. Just a quick reminder that if you fancy a bit more from the Self-Improvement Project, you can subscribe on Spotify for 99p a month, and you get an extra episode a week and an in-depth workshop episode every month. Enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Self-Improvement Project. I hope you're well. I hope you've been enjoying some of the recent episodes about self-worth, about lifestyle, about taking the pressure off of yourself with certain things as well in life. And I hope just in general you're enjoying that slow, steady improvement in your life, but also not putting that pressure on you that you need to be rushing and doing it as quickly as you can and achieving all the time. That's the key balance here. We don't want to wait for things to happen, but we also don't want to rush the things that we're doing as well. I'm a big believer in that steady progress over time. And it allows us to mold who we are. It allows us to mold the things that we're good at. I know I've talked a lot about mastery recently as well. And it's just nice to bring all of these things together to form who you're working on becoming. Today's episode is called Finding the Right Environment. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, if you subscribe to my Sunday Thoughts newsletter, you'll know that I've been writing a little bit more recently. A bit from a mastery point of view, but also just getting my ideas out there. Been facing the resistance that comes up when we are challenged with creative tasks and just making sure that I turn up. So I wrote this piece on finding the right environment, and I wanted to share those thoughts with you on the podcast today. Now, finding the right environment, the context here that I'm thinking about is your skills, maybe career and work-wise, as well as your innate values, the beliefs that you hold strong to yourself, and understanding the combination of those allowing you to flourish in the correct environment. And it's all about being in the right place for you. It's about making sure that the things that you hold true and the things that you're good at are getting that best opportunity to blossom. It's allowing you to be the best version of yourself. And in some of the things that I talk about today, I'm going to talk about why we try and push ourselves into these square holes when we maybe need a different approach. I first came across this idea when I was looking at my own individual development, reading Free Range Humans, which is a book by Marianne Cantwell. I first read it back in 2016, so about 7 years ago now. But you can see that the impact it has had on me is long-lasting. And there will be a bit of analysis with this internally with yourself. You might have skills that you have and are being used that you're good at, but they're just in the wrong environment. Think about the culture of your work. We all have to adapt to an extent to the culture of the place that we work, but there's almost an immeasurable and subjective feeling that exists wherever you work or the environment that you are in. This can exist socially as well, but I just want you to think about the environment for your skills and your beliefs, whatever the setting is here. That feeling is definitely linked to our intuition, our values, and our beliefs. You might not be able to convey through communicating why you agree with it or not, but you'll know. You'll know inside yourself, you'll know intuitively if that sits well with you. And that's where your strong values and beliefs come into play. And essentially, that feeling is the start point for you. It's that start point for you to become aware of whether this environment is right for you. The first reason that this idea is quite novel is because of comparison that exists. If you're listening to this podcast, you'll know I've talked about it before, but you'll also be very aware of the toxicity of comparison in our lives. The scripted expectations of life that we are given, whilst and combined with being surrounded by our peers who are all walking that same path, who are all living that same life. The cliche, get married, have kids, buy a house, have a job, work till you retire. There is no scope for any flexibility with that. And it's in our heads as well, the comparison of, from the outside, your peers look like they're having a great time, but you don't know what's going on internally. And this is so funny because each and every human and their own personality and values are so different. They're so individual. Yet we all push ourselves to be into this box that everybody else is a part of. And it isn't ourselves to fit in. That's not our role. Our role is to find the things that matter to us, the things that we care about, and ultimately finding that right balance and mixture of the environment, allowing those things to come to light. Sometimes we do it because it's that scripted lifestyle. Sometimes we do it because it's a trend. We just fall upon things. And something that's important to recognize here as well is that you will be ridiculed socially if you don't comply with that. But we would rather take that face off than waste years of our life living for others. We would rather have that trade-off of fitting in rather than living a life true to ourselves. Which is so funny to think about. Is it that social ridicule, that social exile, that social judgment that overrides our values, our beliefs? Even if it's just temporary, it's to make sure that we don't fall out of line. Timing is also something in relation to being in the right environment for your skills, your values and beliefs. Personally, I've had about 3 different jobs, careers that have led me to finding something that I enjoy. So that experience that I've built up, that almost that capital of trying different things and seeing what sits and what lands, has allowed me to become more aware of what matters to me, has allowed me to become more aware of what I'm good at, what I'm not so good at. And you do need to be patient with this. You have to try things. You have to do things that you don't like. You're not going to stumble across it first time. In order to enhance and nail down your clear values and your clear beliefs, you need to go through things that you don't like. You realize the things that matter to you and don't matter to you. You realize the things that are important to you and that are not important to you. The things that you would fight for and the things that you're happy to leave on the side. And again, it comes back to this point that I made about comparison, where when you have something that looks good from the outside to everyone else, it is extremely difficult to walk away from that, because you're in line, but you could be miserable internally. It's one of the bravest and toughest things that you will do if you walk away from something, a job, a relationship, a social group, because it doesn't make you happy. But on a grand scale, probably less than 10% of people do that. They just want to be accepted by others. But the most important thing that we need to do is accept ourselves. We will never accept ourselves if we're always looking to be accepted by others. And my last thought on this topic today is more of a question. Would you keep doing this if you didn't need money or attention? Some of the ingredients for fulfillment and peace within ourselves come from doing the work beyond ourselves that matters to us. Some of the ingredients of fulfillment and peace come from spending time and developing relationships with people that matter to us, with people that we respect, with people that we're not playing games with people that we know for life we would love to have a relationship with for the pure beauty of it. Would you keep doing this if you didn't need money or attention? Something that you don't need credit for from others. Just knowing that you've worked hard on it is enough. That's all you need. That'll give you all the satisfaction that you need. Yes, money and attention might come as a result of those things that you are doing so well with and being in the right environment for. But from a neutral standpoint, this isn't a good or a bad thing. It could be good, but it also could be bad. With money and attention comes pressure. But with money and attention, you might be able to do more things that you want to do. It's a tough internal question to sit with and, again, to know clearly what the answer is for you. But it's a key one if you want a life of feeling like you fit in to the life you're supposed to, and one where you feel like everything clicks. And that's us today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it sparked something within you. I hope it's allowed you to create clarity around what matters to you, or even start you on that path or journey. If you enjoyed it, if you loved it, please share it with someone that you respect, someone that you love, someone that you think would enjoy and benefit from it as well. Because that is the beauty of this. 14, 15 minutes of an episode could provoke some thought that could really help them with their life. So thanks again for listening, and I will see you all next time. Cheers. Hey guys, me again. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and if you're not ready for the Becoming Unstuck in 30 Days self-led course quite yet, why don't you try my free ebook I created? 5 simple steps to improve yourself and your life. I made this during the very first lockdown of the pandemic in the early days of the self-improvement project. It's a quick go-to when you're feeling unsure what to work on when improving yourself or your lifestyle. And the great starting point if you're trying to figure out how to live a more fulfilling and simple life. The link for this will be in the show notes for you. Have a good one.